Good morning, Mr. Wenzel. Is it Wenzel?
Weinzel, yes.
Weinzel?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, buckle up. This one jumps straight into a family assault case. It's over chores, but the legal fallout is anything but minor. Assault of a family member? That's no slap on the wrist. What would you do if a heated argument at home turned into felony charges? Let's dig into how the law handles domestic situations, even when it's between relatives.
Mr. Wenzel? Is it Wenzel?
Weinzel, yes.
Weinzel?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Weinzel, you're charged with assault of a family member.
Sir.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance. The complainant, the defendant's nephew, and the defendant lived together and were involved in a verbal argument regarding house chores. The complainant told the officers that the defendant struck him once in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. Officers reviewed cell phone video of the incident and observed redness and swelling where the complainant was struck.
Say it again.
Yes, Judge. So their officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence. The complainant, who is the defendant's nephew, lives with the defendant, and they were involved in a verbal argument regarding house chores. The complainant told the officers that the defendant struck him in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. The officers reviewed cell phone video of the incident and also observed redness and swelling where the complainant was struck.
And what's the age of, are we talking a young, don't, please.
20-year-old, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you spoken to this person?
Yes, Judge.
Tell me.
So he lives, the complainant lives with his grandmother in that house. The defendant lives on the property, I believe in a shed in the back, and then he's permitted to use the kitchen and the washing machine and things like that. The complainant just asked that they have no threatening or harassing contact. He didn't request a full no contact because he does kind of use that house and they live at the same address.
Is that dangerous? The problem is, Mr. Wenzel, is, I don't know what kind of relationship you have with this person. And it's a 20-year-old. 20-year-olds are like volcanoes about to erupt, and you never know when you're going to catch a 20-year-old on a good day. You're going to catch them on a bad day. And the last thing I want is for you to pick up a new case. So it scares me that,
we're not having no contact.
That moment right there, where the judge explains the 20-year-old's temperament, is so revealing. He's not just being colorful. This is judicial insight from years of dealing with unpredictable behavior in tense households. The fact that the complainant didn't want full no contact? That says this situation might be messier than it looks.
We're not associated with each other.
But the problem is that you're invariably going to run into him again.
Good. We're not.
So what do you do with yourself? Do you have an income?
I'm 100% disabled.
Okay, so let's do this. I had a feeling whether I was going to give you a lawyer or not. So I think the thing that we should do is let me give you a lawyer. We can talk about the dynamic, how to go forward. But the last thing I want is you to accidentally run into him. You guys have more beef. You guys end up fighting again, and then more charges are filed. So let me appoint you a lawyer, and then we'll figure out. For now, no threatening or harassing contact with this person. I'm issuing a protective order. So he has a protective order in his favor now. So if you violate this protective order, they can file additional charges against you. Do you understand? And look, there's probably one already as it is. Yeah. It's on December 2nd, they issued the protective order. Second.
It looks like they took off the residency restriction and then the payment.
Yeah, but understand, everything else in that protective order applies. So it's no threatening, harassing, Remember, it doesn't matter what you think, it's how they perceive. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you step over, sign a receipt with Ramona. We'll have you find a seat somewhere, and then I'll have you speak to a lawyer here momentarily. Sure. Let's see. I have one already on file. So, okay. You are Juan Morales Halel. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Morning. On December 1st, 2024, at approximately 12:11 a.m., the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle after observing it fail to maintain a single lane as it drove from the second to the fourth lane without using a turn signal, nearly striking the officer's marked vehicle. The vehicle continued to drive outside of the marked lane as it drove north on Hillcroft Avenue, and upon contact with the defendant, who was in the driver's seat of the vehicle, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking prior to driving, and standard field sobriety tests were attempted. However, officers were unable to observe HGN because the defendant was unable to follow instructions. Walk and turn, 5 out of 8 clues were found, and one leg stand, 3 out of 4 clues were found. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were .191, .188.
Okay. Any prior DPIs?
No, Your Honor.
Have you run it?
There's no driver's license on record, Your Honor.
It's got to run something. If you can run an NCIC, an FBI number, just let's make sure he doesn't have any prior DWIs. Just because it says a DWI first doesn't mean anything.
Yes, sir, we run that, and there's no prior,
Okay.
there's no driver's license.
Mr. Morales, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Are you a United States citizen?
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
without permission.
What happens if you go to jail, Mr. Morales?
Used to ver a cárcel, señor Morales. I don't have any idea, I don't know.
Are you in this country with or without
Está en el
permission?
pisco, sin permiso.
Sí, estoy sin permiso.
I'm without permission.
So what happens if you go to jail?
Entonces, ¿qué?
Whoa, judge just laid it out for Mr. Morales. No license, high BAC, and no legal status in the country? This isn't just a DWI case anymore, it's now tangled with immigration consequences. When the judge warns that jail time could turn into a one-way trip out of the US, that's a brutal reality check. Would you have expected things to escalate this quickly?
¿Qué le pasaría?
I want you to think about
¿Qué
this.
piensa acerca de esto?
Sí, sí, tiene razón.
Yes, you're right, I shouldn't be doing this here.
Immigration sweeps the jail on a daily basis, every couple of hours. If they find you in the jail, they will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. You will sit in jail for about 6 to 9 months, if not longer, waiting for all that to happen. If you do not want that to happen, then don't violate my laws, don't endanger my public, and follow my conditions. The first condition is you're not to drive. You don't have a Texas driver license, so you're not allowed to drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing a promise with me today indicating that you're not going to drive, and I don't care what your deal is. I don't care what your excuse is. You cannot justify getting into a car for any reason. If you do, you will go to jail, and I can have a contempt hearing and hold you with another 180 days and a $500 fine every time you drive. Likewise, no dope, no illegal drugs, no alcohol, you will be randomly tested. You test positive for drugs or alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. It says, I have Sharma.
That's it. It's the other Morales, it's Juan.
The top of it.
Oh, okay. You have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel. If you lose out of contact, if he tells me that he can't get hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Mr. Morales, you will not get any more warnings. Heed this, take this as it is. If you don't, we have only one place for you.
Caso tenemos un lugar para usted. Okay.
All right, we'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. We'll get you to Ramona to sign a reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. Thank you.